Hello from G Nature channel. This is GC Food from TJ Dragon's channel. Now this video is another shout out for you guys who are just new to my channel and don't know that I have another channel going on for the Taoist Magic, that kind of stuff. So this is a shout out. Okay, so if you're interested in the magic side of me, okay, doing Taoist Magic and all that stuff, you can go visit my other channel called Teen Yat Dragon. Okay, so search up that one or go to the link below, and you can see my link down there. Okay, now this topic is going to be a pretty interesting topic. I'm going to redo, not really redo, but more like a beefed up version. Okay, of the topic of what is Taoism. So we did this topic a while ago, but I'm gonna redo it, okay, in a easier format, easier to understand, and also to clarify some questions, some little confusing stuff that some of our fans raised on the private message box. Okay, so I got some messages from my fans, and they're asking me stuff, and usually, some topic just come up all the time, and we want to clarify them in this video. And again, if you really do like the in-depth talk, go to my Teenage Dragons channel because I don't want to post these things here all the time. Okay, so we'll see you there in the future. Now let's get into the topic today. Okay, what is Taoism? Well, there are many types of Taoism out there. Okay, including I would say categorize them. Okay, one type is what we call most people call the religious Taoism. Okay, one type, most people refer them to the philosophy Taoism. Well, strictly talking, uh, I call it differently. I like to call one type is the Taoism. Okay, one type is Taoism. No matter what lineage, what sect you are, okay, if you are in that kind of style, mostly, okay, and you also agree that you are part of like the Taoism style of stuff, then I can say, okay, Taoism, sure, okay. Um, Another type is what I call historical studying Taoism. Okay, that kind of stuff is like you don't really understand what Taoism is, but you are more into the history of Taoism. That is what most of the Taoism philosophy fans are like in these days. They are into studying the ancient texts, like they like the books, the words of dead people. Okay, it's like you're like archaeologists. Okay, you dig up stuff and you want to find out, oh, who said this, and the history and the art, the culture, maybe even some scripture. Is it like something very ancient, that kind of stuff. Okay, so there are two types in my eyes. One type is you really do the practice and you know what you're doing. Another type is you don't know what you're doing and you're studying history. Okay, why do I say there's no philosophy Taoist? Well, because basically it's like, okay, this theory thing, come on, this is the ABC of all Taoist lineage. Okay, this is like, it's like, why are we bringing the ABC and like the 1, 2, 3, the kindergarten stuff? Okay, why are we going to separate that from the whole academy system? Like the whole school system. You don't separate them, right? So why do you need to separate it and call that is philosophy Taoism? This is what Taoism. Okay, no, actually, you know what? Like, come on, all these so-called religious Taoism that you can see on the market so far, okay, in the world, they all have their own philosophy. No matter what it is, okay, they all have their own theory, their knowledge, and their style of thinking, whatever you want to call that, how they look at things. Okay, they all have their own book of resources. Okay, no matter what it is. For the lineage I teach, okay, I have my own stuff. Another lineage, another sect, they have their own stuff. It's not about who is better. It's about like they're different things. Okay, that is why we have different sects in Taoism. Okay, but there's always some similarities in Taoism. Okay, when you look at Buddhism and Taoism, you can clearly tell the difference between the two. Seriously, it's very, very obvious. Okay, in Taoism, the Taoist, okay, you can see we always work with altars, like the one at the back. Okay, we work with fu, like the yellow paper, the magic yellow paper thingy. Okay, we use these things. Let me show you. Just got a bunch here that I did a demonstration on today. Okay, these things we have all kinds of color with these, but most of the time you see the red ones. Okay, red one with yellow paper and such. Now you see some white one here as well. Okay, so basically they come in all size and colors. You see, and most importantly is Taoism is usually in Chinese because the main thing is this thing is started in China. Okay, so Chinese is the language that is usually used. Well, not saying that you cannot use English, but it is usually in Chinese. Okay, more acceptable in Chinese. So yeah, just like saying, okay, Buddhism, you see they are Indian stuff, so you see their own culture, their own language. You see that? Okay, get the idea. So usually when you see Taoism, it's always the Chinese stuff. Okay, very closely bonded to the Chinese traditions, their cultural stuff. Things like you see things like dragon, the phoenix. These kind of Chinese style stuff. You see it all the time. Okay, no matter what lineage, what sect, usually you see these things, and you see Taoism will burn incense, and the incense that we burn is different from the incense that, let's say, Japanese or the Buddhism or whatever other culture. The incense that they burn and the incense that we burn is different in style. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot use the other types for doing whatever work, but it's just usually, okay, different in this kind of way. Also, in Taoism, you will see a lot of things like different outfits and things like that. The Taoist robes, okay, they're usually like a little bit more fancy than how the other religions are like sometimes. Like if you look at Buddhism and stuff, their clothing is a little bit more plain, and when you see the Chinese doing ceremonies and stuff, you see the clothing is a little bit more fancier. Okay, that's also related to the culture and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit yeasty stuff, yeasty factor that you can see right away. Okay, difference. Okay, very, very different. Now, some people are saying, well, it's only the philosophy that matters. It's not really, okay? The philosophy itself, if you're not learning under a master, you will be very confused. I'm sure that 99.9% of the people who read the book Dong Ducking, you went into the cloud, or you're totally confused about what it's trying to say. There's nothing solid that you can grab onto. Like, it's just so vague. Because, let me tell you, the most of the stuff out there is like, people misunderstood it, and they misinterpreted it, and there's just a lot of things that you don't understand because you're missing that teacher who can really give you the pointers to tell you, this is this means this, that kind of stuff. So, Taoism, Taoist Magic, they're closely bonded together as one. Because if you don't understand what magic is, basically, okay, you are not going to understand what Taoism is. It's together. It's one thing. It's like you want to learn about what human is, and you have to learn about what eating is about, right? If you don't eat, how can you be a human being? It doesn't make sense. You cannot rip them apart. So they're really the same thing. It's just that, a bunch of people just took part of it and think that that is the Taoism, which is not, okay? Not even qualified. Now, if you look at, let's say, not relating to me, okay? Let's say, in general, look at China, okay? All the Westerners, foreigners, if you do not agree with the so-called philosophy Taoists and the religious Taoists, that kind of debate, okay? Look at China, you won't see anyone claim to be a Taoist without being like a disciple of a lineage, okay? No one will say they are a Taoist. If you learn Taoism history, in the university, in school, and stuff like that, you're only a student. You're not even a Taoist. But somehow this weird vibe went on online, and people will say, "Oh, you can call yourself a Taoist when you agree to this book or whatever. You read this thing and you kind of like it, then you can call yourself a Taoist." That is nonsense. Okay, in China, where Taoism originates from, like where it started, and this thing cannot happen. Okay, face the fact, guys. Like, look at the real world. It doesn't happen there. Okay, people who live in China, if they want to be a Taoist, they learn from a seafood. Okay, you go and you find a seafood and you get taught. Okay, direct teaching. That is how Taoism is always inherited. Now people are like, "Oh, but what about Lo Ji and stuff?" Well, Lo Ji is only one of the people out of so many millions of people in China. Okay, before this Lo Ji exists, there's already tons of stuff that is Taoism related. That is Taoist Magic related. That's the same stuff, but it's just like it's not branded. Okay, it's like a lot of people are already cooking, but no one put a name on it because no one really cares, or people are not really like into promoting, making it big and stuff like that, or maybe they are not rich, they're not connected with the royal family, the king and stuff. Okay, but Lo Ji, yeah, he, well, in history, okay, he worked as the librarian and stuff, and all that rich people connection, all that stuff. That's why his name is there in history. There are many smart people who are not recorded in his history books. So what, right? But the fact is, there are so many sects and lineage of Taoism. Every one of them is not the same. Just like saying, okay, cooking, okay, Chinese food. Wow, look at Chinese food, okay? There are so many different styles of Chinese food. Okay, there's the dim sum, there's the Shanghai food with a lot of noodles and dumpling, and then there's one that is a lot of bread and stuff. Okay? Tons of different style, right? Different places grew up different things, and so is Taoism. So is Taoist Magic. Okay, some of them they get famous because they have connection with this and that, and they got the experience of this and that people, and they got famous and recorded. Some they don't get that famous, right? So that's how it goes. If you want to get big, well, you better hook up with the rich guy, just like right here, right? You want to get big, you hook up with the rich guy and you get big. If you don't get the connection, you're not going to get big, even you're smart. That's how it works. So basically the same thing goes to the ancient China too. So basically, my point is, Taoism is Taoism, okay? It's more like a category. If you want to say, is this like really real Taoism or fake Taoism, I would say, if you got a master who teach you and guide you in and you know what you're doing, well, yeah, okay. But if you don't know, like if you really don't understand it, you read books only and DIY, well, then you got a problem, okay? So basically, I would say, okay, Taoism is more like a category of this type of religion. Now, let me get into, let's say, a deeper meaning, okay, of this word Tao and the three treasures of Taoism. Dou Ging Si. Now, if someone cannot explain you this thing, okay, they're like pretty not qualified. What is Dou Ging Si? Okay, Dou Ging Si is the three treasures of Taoism, and well, they are not treasure like they're gems and real solid treasure. Okay, the word treasure in Chinese is more like well, they're valuable stuff, okay? But they're not like treasure, as in you need to put it in a chest, hide it, that kind of stuff. What is Dou Ging Si? The three treasure. This is actually a concept and a theory, okay? It applies to anything. So let me explain. Dou, okay, the word for Taoism, the Tao, okay, the Dou. Dou Ging Si, the Dou. Dou is one thing that leads a whole system to go to a certain focus, for certain direction. Like the boss of the family, okay? The boss of the company, not the family, okay? The boss of the company. He is the essence that leads the whole thing going toward one direction, okay? Let's say typically the father of the family is the Dou. He is the essence that leads the whole family. Okay? Because if you want the family to be a family, like there's a father, mother, son, okay? If you want to have a son, you need to have a father. Okay, you cannot not have the father, because the first thing is the sperm. Okay, that's why the father. So the father is the essence of the whole thing that creates the family. Let's say you have a team right now. Okay, now the Dou is the thing, the person or the power that controls the whole focus, the direction of the team. Very, very simple, right? You can think like that's the bigger things in the whole team that leads you to whatever. Now, when, let's say, the Dou of a company, the focus, direction, the director, okay, that makes decision, change, then you get a big problem. Just like, back then, okay, with Steve Jobs and Apple, okay, when they changed the CEO, a lot of problems happened, okay? It just doesn't work as well when Steve Jobs is not there. The example, okay? So, it's always the person who leads the whole thing. Now, if you look at in the ancient China, like when there's still the king, the queen, and stuff like that, the king is the Dou of the whole thing, because the king basically leads the whole country. That's why everyone is very, very concerned about the king's health, the king's safety. When the king dies, okay, everyone just like panic, right? Everything just changed. So the Dou is that, okay? It's a pattern. It's not specifically saying what is the Dou. But don't worry, guys. I'm not going to leave you in the cloud thinking. Okay, I will give you solid example in Taoist Magic in a bit. Okay, now King is the inside of things. Like it's like a process. The thing is like the thing is like a bunch of processing stage. Okay, a stage where you process through changes, convert the stuff from the Dou, the boss, okay, convert it into whatever supposed to come out. Like, okay, let's say the workers of a company, they are the king. Okay, the workers are the person who, the people who take the boss intention and then transform it into solid work. They make, create, okay? And then they will take these things and push it down to the sales or something to launch it out. Okay? So this is the king. The pattern is like that. This is the processor that takes the Dou to process, or digest and process, to change, to make. And then the next step is C. C is the same word as teacher. Basically, the C is not really a teacher, but it's like to teach, to affect, to influence, something like that. Okay, so basically, when you have the product, the intention of the Dou came here. Okay, convert and work around and such. You create it. Right now, it's time to push it out. So the C, the last part, is when you push out the final product and influence the outside again. Okay, so that's like the final result of how the outcome. Now, this pattern is very simple. It's just like how it works in a company. You got a boss. Boss gives you idea and intention, focus, all that stuff, and resources. It dumps into the king. The king processes it, and then after it's done making of the stuff, they push it to the sales. Now the sales take the thing and teach the other people outside to have whatever the intention is, okay? To teach the outside then get your product and do whatever you teach them to do. Oh, take this phone and dial. Whoa, wait, like how that. You take this food and eat. Tasty. Yeah, you should eat it. See, the sales teach the outside to eat, right? Very simple. So, how does it work in ourselves? I mean, what does it have to do with Taoism? Why is this three treasure? Well, there we go. Real Taoism knowledge right here. Okay. Now, your body. Okay, we are taught to observe things physically all the time, guys. Okay, you're always looking at things at the surface. But what if you one day get in coma? Okay, you cannot really respond. Because why? Because the inside of you is not there. Or maybe it's suppressed it. Maybe it's away from you for a bit. It's the inside, okay? Now, you cannot use like scientific equipment to detect that inside. Just like science cannot detect the meridians, the pressure point, that kind of stuff. because they're all just a conceptual thing that you cannot really touch. It's like we want to talk about the feeling. You cannot touch feeling with science. Science, search online, okay, Google. Science do not agree that love is real because they cannot test it with a machine, okay? So there's no proof. They only say that, oh, it's because of the hormones. But seriously, come on. Everyone knows that is not true, right? By the heart. But the thing is, science cannot prove it. And you know what? Science is not everything. We are grown up being taught in school, and we are being raised by scientific mindset. But science really cannot explain everything. As we know, we are sometimes illogical. Like when we want to purchase something, sometimes it's just illogical. It's not scientific. You just want the thing. You just want to buy it. You don't know why. You just want to buy it. Somehow there's an urge there. You know why? It doesn't look good. And then your friends are like, why do you want to buy this thing? This doesn't even look good. Your brain is screwed up, right? But you just know you want to buy it. I don't know why. Okay? Sometimes you just like this girl. There's no reason. The girl is not beautiful. She's not like the best chef in the world. No. There's nothing good about this girl. Why do you like her? I don't know. I just like it. All your friends say no good. But you still want it. Why? Because there's something that science cannot detect, which is your heart. Now, science say that we have the energy heart. Well, they are right partially, but it's not enough. Because there's something that you really cannot touch with the science equipment, which is other kinds of energy that we can understand with our human logic, but not using surface materialistic method. Okay? When you use materialistic stuff to observe, you will lose the grasp of that kind of stuff. That's true, just like love. When we love someone, we love, we feel, we know we love, right? Now, when you take a meter and always check the love level between you and the other person, you're going to really screw that relationship up. Okay? It's like that. Why are you're like 20 psi lower today? How come it's like that? That doesn't make sense, right? But in your heart, you know you love, then you love, right? It's so simple. It's just so simple. Why do you make it so complex, right? Now, we have this heart that feels. Don't debate with me about, is it really there's a heart? Can we see it, with an X-ray and stuff? You know what I'm talking about, okay? You got a heart that feels, right? Good. Now, our heart, our brain, and our body. This is your local Do Ging Si. Take a look. Your heart is the boss of you. The you right here. Your heart feels, okay? Your memory, your feeling, your what we call it, the gut feeling, okay? Your intuition, your whatever it is, okay? Your inside, okay? The thing that feels, okay? The thing that say, oh, buy it. Oh, this is cool. Wow, I love it. So hyped. That kind of stuff. That feeling, very fast, right? A trigger of bang, and you feel. That feeling, the mind power, is the first thing that comes when you encounter anything. Now, let's say you are walking on the street. Instantly, you don't feel right. You don't know why. Your brain didn't even process. You cannot see anyone. You just don't feel right. You don't know why. And then the next second, someone come up to you, give me your money. You see, this is the kind of stuff we have as a human being. Sometimes you walk back home and you just look at your parents for the kids, okay? Kids. Sometimes you just look at the parents, you don't know what happened, okay? You just went in and there's this thick air that tells you, oh shit, there's something wrong. You don't know why. There's this, you know what I mean, okay? This is the thing. You don't explain that with science, right? They just go in and you feel exhausted, depressed, whatever. Something cloud on you, right? You feel. That is not something processed by your brain. Your brain doesn't work right now, okay? It's just this thing that doesn't work. Now, when you start to talk and interact, your brain thinks because, this is not a problem. Woo, I was so scared. It's like that, right? Your feeling, emotion is generated from the heart. This is the boss that gives you the first thing that leads you to do anything. If you look at yourself, like your body, your mind, your heart, and all that stuff, as one team, one company, this is your boss. When this say no, everything is no. right? Just like, hey, you want to like get this as your girlfriend, but this day I don't like her. Then every day, any excuse, any explanation is garbage. Okay, very simple. That's how human acts, right? It's very simple. Everyone, no matter Chinese, ancient, black, yellow, everyone is like that. You want this job? I don't like the job. Why? You start explaining. Everything is fake because your mind don't like it. The energy right here is not synchronized. It doesn't like it. Simple, right? That is the Dou. Your mind, your heart. That is the Dou, the boss that leads you to whatever. Now, the boss, the Dou, right here, okay, give the process, product, or whatever you want to call that, the intention, the focus, okay, that stuff. It goes to your king processor, which is the brain. The brain processes it, okay, and then it affects the physical you, right? This is before happening, and then it starts to happen inside, right? When your brain thinks, you don't show it, right? Now, after the thing happened, what happened next? Something come out. First, you think, and then your eyes will, and then all kinds of emotion shows on your face, and then you will start to talk. When you talk, you start to move. Wow, this is so hype, and then you start to move your body. Okay, lots of stuff start to happen. Yourself work from the inside to the outside. You see, basically, this is the Dou, Ging, Si, the three things. Now, what you do at the end stage with your body, the Si, okay, teaching other exterior element to get what you have. Now, when you do that, interact with the outside element, you will get something back. Let's say, I feel not good when I am looking at you. Okay? My brain, my Dou say so. Okay? The brain think about how to punch you and give you a lesson today. And then my face shows all that anger. And then I give you a very hard punch. Now, after the thing is done, cycles come back. Okay? The cycle come back. The other person got your thing, and then they feel right away, they ponder, and it something come back to you right away. You see? Now, it creates something that will be put into you. What? Memory. Memory goes in your heart, right? Now, I say something, okay, because my heart feels, my brain ponder, I say it out, I hurt your feeling. You then punch me. Instantly, because I did it, the other party did something back to me that goes into my memory. I will always remember because I said this and you punched my face and I'm going to revenge. You see? And then my next feeling cycle comes up. Feeling, ponder, punch you back. Very simple. Right? Very simple. Isn't that very simple? Dou, Ging, Si. The three treasures. Meaning that because of these three elements, you will be getting something back into the inside, the deep inside, this heart area of yourself, which will create your future again. Now, this theory, if you understand, you will know every action, every word you say will give you something back in return and affect your future behavior. But isn't that like kind of useless just to understand? Like, everyone knows about this. Yes, it is, okay? That's kind of useless. But if you actually understand this, we have to move into another stage to put this into practical use, which is the Taoist Magic. Now, this is like the heart of this lesson right here, okay? Now, let's say I have a little tool right here. Now, such as this thing right here, okay? We have three things inside. One, the first element, we categorize them into light, guang, okay, light. Visible element, like this. You can see, you can touch, you can feel with your hand, okay? Next is the inside element. We call that Hei. the energy inside. Okay, energy you cannot see. It's contained inside something physical. Like this is a container, like a jar. You put water in it. Okay, you cannot see the water because it's inside. Okay. Only when the jar is transparent, without light, like without color, then you can see. Anything with color, you cannot see because everything energy placed inside, you cannot see it. It's hiding inside. You can say, if I close my eyes, you cannot understand, am I really tired or am I really energetic at the moment? But inside of me, I can be very energetic. I'm just not showing it out because I close my lid. You see? I can be super tired and pretending that I'm okay, right? Because the inside of something is really not visible. The energy inside is not visible. Now the third element that is missing from any dead object is the heart energy, the Tao, the boss, okay? This heart energy is not here because this is a dead object. Like a stone, piece of paper, a food. It's a dead object, right? So, what can we do as a Taoist? Dou Si, right? We use our Dou, the heart, to take a bit of that out and place it on this thing. We take this energy and then place it here. Now, this contains my Dou energy, my Tao energy, or my heart energy. Now this energy is inside here. Because of that, it can connect to my heart. Meaning that I can, inside me, okay, I can cultivate and use this energy right here, my heart energy, to communicate with this thing. To tell it to start putting the energy to use, start doing something for me, exposing its power and such like that. Okay, you can see, okay, this is the shell container. It contains the energy inside. This is a dead object, okay, like a human without a heart, without feeling. Even the human is like the human in coma, okay? Even the inside there's energy. It's like the energy is not exposing out. It's like there's a flashlight, okay? Flashlight, there's a battery, and then there's a flashlight. Because the flashlight don't have this heart. It doesn't think and feel. So the flashlight will not turn on its own. Right? This thing got solid, okay, solid stuff, physical stuff. There's a container. Inside there's energy. I put energy inside. But because there's no heart, it will not start to use the energy to expose out of this container. Just like a flashlight will not turn on its own. With the Dou energy, the heart energy, we will put our heart energy, a bit of it, inside and plant it in. Then later on when we do magic, which is, now the thing will listen to my heart because my heart energy is implanted in here. When I do something, my heart tells this heart, which is my own thing, to release the energy out of this physical medium, this tool. And that is why it works. See, I make other things release their energy or do something else with their own energy, right? And then I can always put more energy into it. I can always put more, do more things to the container, such as, okay, I have a piece of yellow paper. This is my container. Now I'm going to do more things to add energy and add the light element in there, okay? Two elements. One is physical, one is non-physical. The physical one, I will draw. Okay, with a brush, I draw. You can see it, right? Now, the non-physical one, as I draw, I say spells. Sound is non-physical. Spells. All the spells and stuff. At the same time, I have to put the heart energy as well. That is my heart power. I understand. I have intention. I have my whatever, okay, all that stuff. And it's just one package, okay? Three things together, one package put into the piece of paper. Now there goes the food. Why is this food going to work? Why is the printed version not working? Because the printed version is, there's no heart in there. This food, there's a heart in there. Okay, this heart is controlled by me because I put my heart into it. Now, also, it's not just to put your own heart energy in there. Okay, strictly talking about our magic, we call our magic 三磨神功. What is 神功? Okay, we don't really strictly call ourselves the Dou Gao like Taoism. Okay, because Dou Gao is like a category, not a religion name. Like this is the religion. Okay, every Taoism sect, the part of like categorized, not an association. They're categorized as this thing, okay? But San Gong is about putting things outside of yourself and exceeding your own limit. Usually, you can only put your heart here. You cannot put your heart energy outside, right? But practicing the Dou Fat, okay, and Tao magic is to be able to put your heart, a little bit of it in here, and then you can now connect to this thing. And then your heart can command this to release the energy inside that you put in, okay? And of course, we can program the energy inside, empower it, and such like that too. But basically, that's the concept. Now, San Gong goes a little bit beyond that, which is to take and cultivate energy from outside of your body as well. You see, this categorized, like if you categorize this energy, the heart energy, right? You can also cultivate this kind of energy by using other element that is outside of your body, which we say, okay, we cultivate by connecting to the pre-heaven dimension. Meaning, like, you can say other worlds, other dimensions and stuff like that. But basically, the idea is, okay, you don't only take your own stuff and put it here. We harvest stuff and cultivate them from the outside of ourselves. And every day, it's like when you go hunting for food. Every day, you will hunt and gather up something and then put it here. The altar is our bank. Every day, we put something in. We put something in. We put something in. As we process this altar, every day we do some kind of homework to it, okay? Some kind of work, magic work, cultivation. When you process it, it will generate and cultivate and it will become a new element. This new element is this thing that we're using in our body. But this is a drop of you, this thing, combined with all the big amount of stuff that you gathered up in your normal daily homework things, and there goes the new pot of stuff. This is why we cook up magic, because it's like this. We put in different ingredient, we put this in, gather it, combine, and it becomes a big pool of the heart energy, this kind of stuff, which is what we call the magic power. San Gong is like that. It's about taking yours and also the stuff from outside of you, gather them up, put it into a bank, mix, cultivate, become a very powerful energy that you can use later on. So when we do magic, we open the altar, meaning you fire up the system, and then you take stuff from here, dump it on the food, the fan, the sword, everything, okay? You dump it there, and you start to use. That's what San Gong is about, okay? Very, very simple idea. Because just being a Taoist is really not enough. It means you are always using your own thing, okay, to put it on other things, and then so you can do magic to use and control to use their energy, okay. But that is not enough, because you will be having a big depletion like that. That's why you need to gather out things from outside, combine it with your own, and crystallize it into a new form, and use that cultivated kind of thing to do your stuff. Now, why do we need Taoist magic? Why do we need this kind of San Gong? What is it for? Well, this is for a few very important reasons, purpose. One, it is to help you, to protect you, okay? And also to give you a, not really a protection, but it's more like giving you a kind of ability, okay? The ability can let you sense things that can pollute you, screw you up for the whole day. And then you can deal with that. You know what? Sometimes you think that it's just a bad day. You woke up Okay? Somehow someone called you, you didn't pick up the phone, okay? Someone called you, and then suddenly your mood went grumpy. You don't know why. You didn't pick up the phone. Why did you went grumpy? I don't know. I just don't know. This is because the heart energy from the other side is already affecting you badly. Because this heart energy is not limited by distance, just like you can feel for someone even though you're not seeing them. Not limited by distance. When they call you, this intention energy can come over and harm you right away and pollute you, and it screws your day up without even knowing what happened. Now, with the magic practice, every day we clean up ourselves, we empower ourselves, and we coat over ourselves to not be affected by these things so bad. And you can sense when things is coming to you. You can do something right away to dust it off, to detox it, or to block it off, something like that, right? And you see, imagine you're going to exam, interview, or a date. Suddenly your mood is changed just because of someone at the back doing something to you. Wow, that is a bad thing, right? It's going to screw up that whole event. Just because someone is doing something at the back, is that fair? Of course no, but can you call the cops? You cannot, because there's no proof. And people is not going to admit that they just curse you, right? So who the hell will admit that? And you cannot even find evidence when they're doing stuff, right? After they do their stuff, they will just, everything is gone. There's no evidence. So there's always these kind of stuff that you can prove to yourself that this magic, Taoist magic, exists and is real deal. Because you felt it, you did something, the mood is gone. Suddenly you're back to yourself, right? There's always things like that happen every day, or almost like you can say every week there's supposed to be something happening like this. Sometimes you watch email coming in, okay? And you didn't read it, but you felt scared already. This is the kind of stuff, okay? Another thing is dealing with what we call spiritual attack. Evil magic attack, sorcery attack, spiritual attack. You know, some people have ghost possession, seeing spirits and stuff. This is one of the strengths that we can do. Like, we can deal with these things very easily. So this is one thing that we can do. Sometimes you will encounter sickness, like rashes, cancer, and things like that. Okay, sometimes even flu. It might seem very common, like, oh, everyone have a flu, okay? But sometimes you don't know. Sometimes this flu is caused by something unseen. Like, not talking about germs, okay? But something like you cannot see, like energy stuff. And you got a cold, you got a fever, you don't know why. It's just a fever, right? But you took the medicine, it just doesn't work. Then what happened? Well, you go for a stronger medicine, it still doesn't work. I have disciples who got, like, some of them got this issue. For example, one of them, he always faints all of a sudden, feel very weak and drained and stuff like that, okay? Now, most doctors will say, okay, this is like low in sugar and stuff like that, but it's not. Proven. He went to the hospital and stuff and get a checkup, and the doctors say nothing's wrong with you. They check their blood and do this and that test, and nothing's wrong with you. Then what is this? Nothing's wrong, but what is this? Okay? Another example is someone got rashes, okay? This guy got rashes. Go to the hospital, got checkup and stuff. No explanation. Why? Well, when you do the magic, it's fixed. Why? Because the root cause of some sickness, not saying all, okay? The root cause can be because of a spiritual problem that you cannot see. And if you know it yourself, like know this magic yourself, at least you know what, when you're sick, you did the magic for yourself and you see, oh, I got a lot better the next morning. Hey, come on, wake up. This is not just a sickness then, right? Check into what's going on, right? This is like self-defense. Very simple, right? You don't want to get sick and die from it or suffer a long time, right? If you have the ability, you can instantly debunk what this thing is about. Is it really a sickness? Okay, I will take medicine. If it's not, well, you need to do magic. Fight it off. It could be something spiritual. You don't know. Sometimes cancer can be caused by physical element, like smoking or whatever inherited, okay, something like that. Sometimes it can be really a spiritual attack. If you know it, you can defend yourself. You can test, right? Do something, get better, bingo, right? Keep doing your magic, fix it up. That's basically how it goes. Now, going further away, okay? And other use for this Taoist magic is to strengthen yourself, your inside, not being affected by the outside so much. At the same time, you can also control your future a little bit better. Not saying that you'll get rich and stuff and be a millionaire, but at least, when you have something inside, right, you want to execute it. You want it to be fully under your control, and your life is more like what we call 平安, meaning steady, okay? Sometimes you have the thing in your mind, you want to do it, and then when you want to really do it, you go, and then something happened, and then turbulence, right? It's so unsteady. Life is always like up and down, up and down. It's so tiring, right? Now, if you have a life that is steadier, at least it's like a nice trip, right? That's a little bit better. So we're not going to go into the stuff that's like about the afterlife and all that stuff. That's too far away. But just talk about the present, being able, like, okay, honestly for myself, okay, being able to protect myself, get a control, a solid grip of your own life, knowing what is you, what is the stuff being affected, what is not really you, that is really screwing your brain up right now. That is like priceless kind of information already. And then you can fix it up. Sometimes I'm doing this website and then I feel grumpy. I type a blog post. The whole blog post sounds like crap because basically my mood is bad, right? So let's say I don't have a grandma checker and stuff like that. I just and post it. That's going to cause me harm in the future. Who knows? But if I have my magic going on, at least I can sense it. And then if I'm really intended to do it, okay, sure. If I don't intend to do it, at least I know and I can fix it up, right? A nice self-defense. Sometimes you see with martial arts self-defense, we talk about being on guard and when people come, you can like that, okay? But you see, magic self-defense is a little bit different. Every day when you know about your energy level, your body, your mind, all that status, okay? You're aware of it, right? And then if there's going to be someone that is supposed to come and stab you that day, something like that, okay? You do your magic every day. You dissolve the energy of that person. You see the heart energy of that person. You cut off their line, dissolve it, and it will reduce a lot on the chance of that person really coming toward you. So you're eliminating the danger before things can happen. Because how things happen is always starting from this do right here, the annoying heart energy. If you can eliminate their heart energy, then basically you can cut off and prevent it from happening. And this cannot be lab tested. You cannot be like, okay, now I'm going to hit you, okay? Now let's try, okay? I'm going to hit you and then you can deactivate my heart energy and let's see who wins. That is not possible. Because the first place is your heart is already going to fight me. See? And I already accepted it, meaning that I am okay with you going to fight me. See? This is not testable, just like love. You cannot test love. If you want to test love with your wife, you're going to get a divorce very soon. Okay? You can't test it. But when you're really doing it, you see it happen. When you really practice the thing for a while, for a long time, you see it happen all the time. It's super magical. Sometimes when I've got a disciple who go to university, there's tons of friends talking about her back and stuff like that. We call that like villains, okay? People talking about the back and stuff like that. She did this magic, right? To get rid of villains and people talking bad mouthing. The next time, okay, next week, all of a sudden, all these things just dissolve. They start talking about other things. No one knows. Who knows? And things just dissolve. How nice is that? It buys you peace. Come on, right? Yeah, it takes you like time to learn, costs you a bit of money to keep learning and stuff like that. But you see, having the peace of mind, being able to control your life better, isn't that really priceless? Instead of just like fantasizing on some vague and useless theory that you don't even know, why are you actually into these cloudy, shadowy things, okay? Like a bunch of people studying the Tao Te Ching and then they don't know what this means and how to apply in life. Come on. When you really learn in Taoism, you know already, it's very obvious. This is all theory to put your skills and magic work to real use that will make solid, real effect in your life. This is what Taoism is about. It's about dealing with things in your life, getting a more control of your life by understanding how nature works, doing something, okay, about it, and making your future better. Basically, it's so simple. And as again, I said, okay, Dou Ging Si, right? Dou, the heart, Ging, and Si, doing it. Very simple. Okay, feeling, thinking, action. How hard is that? I don't understand. Okay, like why people are so confused and need to debate on this thing for decades. It is so simple. But just understanding the theory is useless because you need to understand how to deal with and use the power of this Dou, which is actually your own mind, your own energy right here. This energy, how can you touch it? And just your own is not enough. You need a stronger one that can override normal people. So you need to be able to store it up right here, cultivate it, make it muscular, and then this can override other people's mind energy, heart energy. When they're coming to attack you, okay, with magic, with whatever it is, okay, if your thing is not strong enough, you'll be, and you're done. You'll be controlled, right? Like when people are attacked by Gong Tao, right? Their thinking and everything got controlled. They go crazy. Now, we have a strong Dou energy, the heart energy inside this altar because we cultivate it every day, make it stronger every day, right? Doing exercise of it. When we use it to encounter these sorcery, we can override them. We can be the boss. We don't let them be the boss. Then we win the battle, and there goes magic battle, right? There goes the magic. It's not magic like, oh, something's in the air and fairies come down. It's not like that, okay? Real magic is very logical. It's like super fun, super logical, practical, and something you can really touch. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here. If you want to learn the Taoist Magic of our lineage, 三魔神功, okay, you can visit our website, email us to get started, and also check out our other channel, Teen Dragon YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!